Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sam and this is the Crafty Blinder van build. Today's video is about how I installed a standpipe in the diesel tank. It involves removing the diesel tank from the van, then trying to open it and then fitting the standpipe in the right place. You've maybe gathered with some of my videos there's a bit of a theme. We do what we think's right and we get a bit in the bum sometimes, and this is one of them videos. So I hope you like it. Thanks for watching. Tell me what you think. Where we're going today. This is my brother's garage, and there he is. Camera shy as usual. Come on, let's see if he'll come out. He usually comes out to the horn. He usually comes out when you pip a horn. What are you hiding for?
Charge extra for that.
What are you hiding for? You may remember Cliff. He's my brother and he's been in some of the earlier videos. This is his little unit down in Workington, and from here he creates some amazing car and van conversions. You should check him out on Facebook. His company's called Sorry Just Mod It, and they undertake all sorts of work. Lying down on the job today, we're actually going to remove the diesel tank today. We're going to put a standpipe in for our night heater. So I'm going to spend the majority of this video on my back. Not taking it easy, but knocking my pan in really. The weather isn't with us today. It's on and off, threatening to rain, but the wind is really bad, as you can probably hear. So I'm going to get stuck in. That's what we're removing today. That tank and the two brackets. Sorry, that's the ones a bit further down here somewhere. There's that one. There's one right. So I'll get them off. First job, remove the fuel cap cover and the backing plate that holds everything in line. Once you've got these out of the way, it reveals a torque screw that holds the filler neck in place. Remove that and secure the cap back on so you don't spill any fuel. So, to make life easier for myself and my brother, in the run up to removing this tank, I ran this van on fresh air, fumes. I carried an emergency can around with me in the back of the van just in case, but I really did run this on fresh air. The size of these tanks, they are awkward to work with. So the last thing you want is additional weight in there. So I would suggest either pumping your tank or running it as low as possible. I've released some of these bolts already, so they're just on the last few threads. So it's just a matter of quickly taking them out and we're ready to drop the tank. I know I'm lucky to have a brother that's in the motor trade, but this is a job that can be done by nearly everyone, I would say. It's as long as you've got a good mechanical mind and you understand how things come apart and go back together, anyone could undertake this task. Once you're ready, the last job is to release the fuel lines. At the front of the tank there are two quick release fittings. These need to be pinched and pulled apart. It's at this point Cliff realises I've made a terrible mistake. In my haste to get the jack to remove the tank, to lower it down, I've put an axle stand on the sill and I've crushed the sill. And he's panicking now, thinking the weight of this vehicle is going to collapse the sill. So we quickly have to refit the bolts to hold the tank in place and remove the axle stand from where it is. This is a schoolboy error. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm an idiot. I've had to remove the audio, it was that bad. The language got pretty colourful. I just don't know what I was thinking. And that's the honest truth. It's a brain fart on my part. On a serious note, never ever work under a vehicle that's just jacked up on its own. Always put an axle stand in there or chock it to protect yourself. If this slips off the jack, it's going to bounce down and it could still crush your chest cavity, give you a head injury. It could do anything. So always put something in place to prevent that from happening. As it was, the damage wasn't as bad as it looked at first. The weight of the vehicle was holding it in position, so it made it look like it closed the gap on the bottom of the door. But when we lifted the weight off the vehicle, the metal sprung back. The only sign that it was damaged is when you look underneath. Once we got the van safely on the axle stand and disaster had been averted, it was time to get on with the job in hand and remove the fuel tank. Go on, it's start coming. A final check to make sure the fuel lines are free and they're not going to get snagged. We can lower the tank the last little bit. I'll put the filler cap on, will that matter?
Shouldn't. There's a wire running up there, what's that going for?
I don't know, it comes off the top of the tank, doesn't it? Is it maybe, I don't know. I don't know what that wire is, Cliff. I thought it was maybe something to do with the sender unit. Maybe that's that little wire that's behind the footwell here. But she's down now.
Oh, hang on.
Good. Is it maybe like a step?
Is that what that's plugged in? That's the side marker.
Side marker. Maybe? No, side marker should have two.
Oh, it splits the air pop to the neck. That's what it's doing.
Right. It's for static, isn't it? Yeah. Do you need?
Slide the jack out, just going to tilt the tank.
Yeah, and I'll pull.
180 on the tank. Making sure the neck doesn't twist.
You watch the neck then and I'll feed the arse around it.
Just needs to get towards you around it. And tight there.
It's strange how that doesn't separate at any point there. What?
It's too much of an angle.
Well, let me see if the filler cap's catching on out. Yeah, it's a filler cap. Hang on, let me try and take it off, Cliff. That hole is not designed for my fat arm. Hang on! You nipped my finger then. Right, go.
payback for the drill.
Yeah, it'll go back.
Just need to let it turn there.
Yeah, if we could slide that all back and then tip it forward, it would come out.
Get it far back onto the inside of the van.
That's it. That's as far back as you can get it. If you kick that right in under the van, the front will tip down and come out. But then it might tip out. Here you go. You're nearly there. You're nearly there with it. That's it. With a little bit of patience and a lot of will, we finally got the tank out. And it is just a matter of manipulating it around until you can get the filler neck up into the chassis well. Once there, just a matter of spinning the tank around and out from underneath the van. And that's it out. Now for the hard part. So with the vwcrafters and the sprinters, the fuel pump is built into the tank, and this is the part here. Taking the supply off now to the pump. This also disconnects at the front, something I forgot to say earlier. So what we need to do is remove this threaded collar around the top of the pump. And usually these come off quite easily, and you can just pop a ratchet strap on like we're doing here and force it round and they'll go. But we believe this one was the original and it had never been off. We wasted literally an hour to an hour and a half trying to break the seal on this collar. We hammered it, we pry barred it, we knocked lugs off it, we poured boiling water over it. We tried everything we could think of, and in the end I had to put the camera down and make a decision, and I was prepared to break it, to be honest. And in the end, using the technique you can see here, we eventually got it off. But at that point I'd made the decision, if it breaks I'm going to buy another one. We were at the point of no return. We had the tank out, we needed to get it off, and it just wasn't coming. It wasn't working. Didn't matter what we tried, so I just stuck in, bit of brute force, and it come, and we were so relieved when it did. Now we've finally got it loose, time to get the standpipe cut. We're using a small bore pipe cutter, and we've even had to slide a little drill bit in the back of there just so it would touch the blade. We then use the same drill bit to clean any burr that might be on the inside of the pipe. And to finish off, we just blow any small particles or pieces out of the fuel line with an air line. The standpipe requires a 6mm hole. What are you doing? Cloth? See ya. Go on.
I was buying put my hand in all diesel, but
It's already been in once. Might as well put it back in.
1 mil shy.
Can you handle that?
1 mil shy, that.
That'll do then. Just shine light in, see if we can see. Oh, we're in there, Cliff. Happy days. That'll do. Job done. Now the standpipe's fitted. Just a matter of putting the fuel pump back together, getting the collar back on, making sure everything's tight. This itself is a task, as when the collar is released, the pump has a spring on it and it pushes up. So when you're trying to put the collar back on, it won't go on as easily as you expect it to. You need to apply pressure to the pump, but only enough to hold it just below where the collar would make contact with it. Once you get the collar biting, as it is now, it becomes a lot easier, but you need to apply pressure to the pump. So it's a two-man job. We made a bit of an error where we put the standpipe. That's where the chassis is. And where we were going to put the standpipe originally is where the chassis is. 3 locations where we can't put it, and we put it in one of them. So, change of plan. We've now put it into here, and it should work now. So, take 2. Let's put it all back together.
Just getting it started on its threads. It's got a lot of dark cockeyed.
Is it cockeyed already?
Pushing up on there. Let that up a while. Try and get it sit flush on there. Let's see. You have to sit flush. Just get the fucking legs.
Yeah, let me hold that down.
It's getting that to work with that. And that's pushing against there. Yeah.
Once we got the fuel pump back into the tank and secured with the collar, it was just a matter of reinstalling the tank on the vehicle, connecting the fuel lines, connecting the pump supply, and finally running the vehicle to make sure there's no problems with the fuel system. We're now ready for the second part of heater install. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. I've enjoyed making these videos this year. 2020 has been terrible for a lot of people. 2020 has been a year where a lot of people have struggled, and I'll be honest with you, if I hadn't have started this channel and started this van when I did, by luck more than anything else, I managed to get this vehicle a couple of weeks before lockdown. I managed to get all the parts ordered before everybody else started jumping on the bandwagon. I've had a few issues with getting hold of stuff as I've developed the van build, but can only be expected. You know, people are off work and people aren't producing things aren't going around the world as quickly as they used to, so there's been a few hold-ups there. But I'll be honest with you, this channel has been a lifesaver. It saved my mental health, I guarantee it. If I'd been stuck in this house for 7-8 months with nothing to do, I would have really struggled. I'm a very active person, I'm very busy, I always have another job on the go somewhere. Be it in the garage, be it in the garden, be it in the house, whatever. I've always got something, be it the golf. I've always got something to fall back on. But this channel has really brought a different aspect to my life. I enjoy the editing. I enjoy learning about filmmaking as well. That's something I never considered at the beginning. I just got my phone out, I got my camera out. I've always enjoyed taking pictures, but I'd never realised how good it was to record videos or make videos. And I've been watching a lot of other channels for many years, and I picked up this desire to want to make videos, and in the end I've bought myself a drone. I love flying the drone, I love the video footage that I get from that. But this channel's really good. I've enjoyed it. I enjoy the people that comment as well, and the people that have started subscribing, and so all of you really, all the subscribers out there. You know, it's nice to know that you're interested in something I'm doing. I never thought I would have any success that way. And it's basically, you know, just an outlet for me, just somewhere where I can come, make a video, have a chat to the camera, knowing that somebody else is going to be listening at some point. So I'd just like to say thank you to you guys who've supported me, who've subscribed to the channel, who send me comments, because it does help. It really does help. And I hope we all have a fantastic 2021. I want to forget about 2020 as quickly as possible. So we've got a few days left. It's just before Christmas. So I'd just like to take this opportunity to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a happier, much happier New Year. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And thanks for commenting. We'll see you next year.